So hi, it's Louise, Spiral Bright Insight, and today I wanted to do a video about Chiron and share some of the information that I know about this, what is now called a minor or dwarf planet, originally thought to be an asteroid within the natal chart, and how it is affecting us as it transits through Aries for the next few years. So Chiron, as I said, is a dwarf planet. It sits between Saturn and Uranus, so it is out there. It moves, it has an orbit of 50 years, so it takes 50 years approximately to move around all 12 signs, and it does spend more time in certain signs than others. It also has retrograde movements, and it is basically the wound. It represents the wound that you bring into this lifetime to work with and to heal. So Chiron got its name from the Greek god, or the Greek centaur, who sadly was rejected by his parents at birth because he looked so different. So he had the wound of rejection and abandonment to work through. Now, the legend goes that he was taken under Apollo's wing and learnt lots of healing arts and became a great healer and a teacher himself. So he turned his pain and his wound into the greatest gift, because then he was then able to heal other people. And when we see Chiron in the chart, like I said, it's where you have brought in a wound specifically to work on in this lifetime. So it will show you what effect, where you feel broken or where you feel lacking in some way, where you don't feel good enough. So it is in a chart. When you're looking at a birth chart, you're looking for a glyph that looks like a key, because the key is what unlocks our healing gifts. And as I said, it takes 50 years to move around the chart. So we are currently working with Chiron in Aries, which is the wound of the self and the wound of the identity. Now, anybody who is between sort of 49 and 51, 52, possibly a little bit broader than those ages actually, is going to have Chiron in Aries and is currently working with or experiencing their Chiron return. So this is when Chiron returns to the same place as it was in the natal chart. Now, we have no option. Some charts have a stronger Chiron than others. It is particularly strong in my chart because it is one of my ruling planets, because I have a Virgo ascendant. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury and Chiron. So I have always felt the impact of Chiron in my chart even before I knew anything about astrology, and I could never understand why I didn't feel good enough and why I had this sort of low self-esteem and low self-worth. But now I realise that actually that's something that I came in to work with. So we are all currently experiencing this Chiron in Aries transit, which affects us all at a collective level. So obviously Chiron means different things depending on what sign it is in, but I want to talk about Aries because it's my own personal Chiron sign, and because this is the transit that we are experiencing at the moment. And it is in Aries from 2018 up until 2027. So children being born within those years are also going to have this placement in their chart. So the wound of the identity and wound of the self, what does that mean? I mean, effectively, it means that you are going to question whether you have the right to actually exist, which is quite a profound wound to be carrying. It can really make you feel as if something is missing, or that you have something that needs to be healed, but you just don't know what that is. Now, this can create low self-worth, low self-esteem, a lot of self-doubt, because you actually don't really believe that you have the right to be here or the right to be you. You can find it really hard to stand up for yourself, hard to speak your truth, share your thoughts and ideas, because you are carrying this fear of rejection and abandonment of the self. So it can really create a real sense of being judged and a fear of being judged, not feeling good enough, feeling like an imposter or a fraud. I don't know if this really resonates with anybody who's listening. Fear of making mistakes. So, you can really self-sabotage. And it occurred to me that because Aries rules the head in the body, now obviously Aries doesn't rule the thoughts necessarily, but because the mind is in the head, there is a sense here of, you can have some really broken beliefs and thoughts and patterns and programs about yourself and who you think you are, which really don't serve you in any good way at all. So it can lead to wanting to be liked and be accepted by everybody. Because you don't feel good enough, you're seeking approval all the time, so you can often go too far and try to people please at the detriment of yourself. And it can also create this sort of feeling of emptiness, like something is missing, and also a disconnect to who you are and your authentic self. So a real sort of sense of feeling lost, which can be really quite hard to deal with. It can also, Aries is obviously ruled by Mars, which is the warrior. So regardless of how sort of bad you feel about yourself, there's also this real drive to do something about it and to fight and to stand up for rights. So tenacity is something that I would associate with Chiron in Aries. You're not going to let go. And speaking for myself, often your pain or your wound is your greatest gift. Well, because I felt there was something missing and there was something wrong with me, something that needed healing, but I couldn't identify what that was. When I look back now, I see that was the impetus for me to go out and to explore all these different healing modalities. So I tried everything, and I'm not, that's no understatement. I tried everything I came across, and it is only now that I'm approaching or in my Chiron return that everything that I tried is all coming together, and I'm now able to use that, sort of being more me. Doing this is being me, because I would never have done this before, like speaking on YouTube, for example, but also the fact that I'm studying astrology and I'm now working with clients and helping them sort of explore who they are and where they come from. And using my gifts and my healing knowledge and the energy work and all of that, it's all kind of come together. So in a way, it is, I am my own little Chiron in a way, because I've used the wounds that I brought in of not really knowing who I was and not feeling good enough, and not daring to step into who I was, and not feeling that I had the right to be here. I'm putting that to good use. And it is when you reach your Chiron return between the ages of sort of 48, 49 through to 51, 52, that you are able to break free from all the limitations that really, realistically, only you have put on yourself. You no longer are questioning your beliefs because you feel secure in them. You feel secure of how you look, who you are, and comfortable in your own skin. So, and it's also with Chiron and Aries, you can often feel like you don't have a purpose, or you don't know what your purpose is. Obviously that applies to a lot of star seeds actually, but it is, you want to find a reason for existing with Chiron and Aries, and when you reach that Chiron return point, often all that falls into place, which is a relief, but it's actually the rewards as well, because with the wound, it's not going to go away. You know, this is something that you have brought into work on, so it's going to bug you, and the universe and your higher self will find different ways to present it to you and to bring it to your attention until you actually address it. So from a collective point of view, we have a conjunction coming up where Jupiter is going to align with Chiron on the 12th of March, and Jupiter expands anything it touches. This is really going to shine a light on the kind of collective wound of the self, and it's going to really make us look and start to question, you know, who are we really? How do we fit in to the bigger picture? What is our purpose? Why are we here? Because there has to be more to life than just sort of the rat race and the mundane day to day. It's going to make us question, you know, what have we got to offer? It's also going to make us sort of look for a deeper meaning to our lives, and you know, where we might have become disconnected with the body, which I think has become something that's quite prevalent in recent years because of the focus on technology, and you know, we don't have such close connections with other people and with nature and with ourselves, because we're so much in our minds because of the speed of life and the way we live. And obviously I'm not talking for everybody, but a point where something is going to have to give, because it's going to become apparent that that isn't really in the long run, it doesn't work. So Aries also is the ego, it's the I am, and so it is possible that we are going to have to maybe explore the idea that we are not as amazing as we think in terms of the alpha human, if that makes sense. You know, thinking that we are the only living beings in this universe and somehow we are superior. That's going to potentially have to shift as we find out, you know, our place in the universe as we become more galactic. So that is just a kind of top line view of the energies that we're working with. Now, if you have Chiron in Aries, if you're going through your Chiron return, please do comment and let me know how it's going. You know, what are you learning? Are you stepping into more of yourself? I really hope so. And what I wanted to do as well, I will do a separate video, because with this upcoming conjunction, there's also a fixed star involved from Andromeda. So I believe that that sort of brings and adds in a different element, but I will do that separately because I don't want my videos to be too long. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to connecting again soon.